Welcome to the Second Report. Today's topic, Kevin Durant responds back to Charles Barkley, who calls him insecure. Man, I gotta tell you, man, if it's one person that's tired of Charles Barkley, Fat Man Barkley, it's me. Charles Barkley has gone on to call Kevin Durant insecure. He has, criticized him in the past. He's talked down upon him, oftenly critiquing him about his stay at the Golden State Warriors. And now that he's moved on and no longer winning rings, he finds himself critiquing Mr. Kevin Durant. Charles Barkley, let's really have a talk. What have you done sports-wise? Dog, you never won a ring. You're a ringless buffoon. You never won a ring. You won one MVP. Listen, one MVP, you got that. You were a perennial all-star. You got that. You had a few All NBAs. Cool, man. Listen, great. But you never won the chip. You never won the finals chip, and you only got there once. You continually was on the scrotum of one Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You couldn't get past him. One man. They often talk about Scottie Pippen this, Scottie Pippen that, but really it was one man. It was Michael Jeffrey Jordan. All them washed up 90s players got washed up by Michael Jeffrey Jordan. All of them, except for Elijah Wan. But all those guys got dusted off, man. Charles Barkley wasn't good enough. All those other players that went up against Jordan wasn't good enough. That's the reality. And here you are finding yourself in 2022 talking about a guy who's an MVP, a two-time champ. Charles Barkley, you never got there. You never won the chip. Who are you to talk about? Just like Shaq says, and I'm not a big fan of Shaq neither, but the G14 classifications is real. Shaq critiquing Kevin Durant, everybody would say, you know what? Shaq is a champion. Shaq is an MVP. I can't get mad at it. LeBron critiquing Kevin Durant. LeBron is an MVP. He's a multiple time champion. I gotta listen to him. Anybody who's won a ring, anybody who's been there, won the thing, won the chip, actually did it, has a right to talk about it. Charles Barkley, you were never there. You never got there. You never won anything. You won the MVP. We're happy for you. And you got into the Hall of Fame. You had a good career. But to sit up there and critique a guy like Kevin Durant, you're not on his level. You've never been on his level. You're a has-been. You were an okay player. You were a good player. Let me not discredit you. You were a good player. But you are washed up. Okay? You're washed up. And then another thing that Charles Barkley talks about is the super teams. When he created the super team, when you got on the Houston Rockets with Scottie Pippen, Elijah Wan, and you, dog, that was a super team. I don't want to hear nothing about, we was old, we was past our primes. What are you talking about? All of you guys are 30. All of you guys were in your early 30s, still in your prime. You're declining, but you're not 40 years old. You're not on your way out of the league. You guys were in your early 30s. You could still play. You guys were still perennial all-stars, but all of a sudden, we were older. That wasn't a super team. That was a super team. You started the super teams. Because the teams back in the day, like the Lakers and the Boston Celtics, they built those teams through the draft. They might have picked up a guy like, Worthy, or might have picked up a guy like Kareem. But, most of those teams was built through the draft. When you got with the Houston Rockets, that was a super team. The Heatles, super team. Boston Celtics in 08, super team. Those are all super teams. You were a part of a super team. So stop clowning and going in on the guys that are the modern players when you've never won anything. Charles Barkley, you are a buffoon. You are a corporate buffoon. Just get your butter biscuits and shut your mouth. You ain't got to talk about Kevin Durant. You're not his caliber of player. You've never had that many buckets. You've never won the chip. You never won the NBA Finals. You were a good player, but you were never better than Jordan. And he took all your champions, and he took all your cookies in your era. And now you're mad. Now you're out here buffooning, jostling, shucking and jiving for Turner Company. Like, come on, man. Stop. Get Kevin Durant's name out your mouth. And those are my thoughts. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of Mr. Fat Man Barkley talking about the great Kevin Durant. Thank you for joining me.